we all have the moment that we want to give up and we're done. We don't want to do it anymore. It's too hard to succeed. But today, we're going to share with you a story from Deb Richardson, who is the US Olympian. Welcome to GoAllInTV. Hi, Deb. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here. This is so fun.
It's such an honor for me to meet you and interview you. And you're actually taller than me.
I'm taller than everybody. I'm taller than everybody.
Oh my goodness. So share with us a little bit. How did you get here? How did you from probably ordinary girls, right? To become a US Olympian?
Yeah, I started late in my career because now when girls are being recruited, they're being recruited when they're 13 years old. And I was 20 before I even started playing club ball. And I was pretty much cut from every team I tried out for. I tried out for the University of Minnesota. I was the 13th player. They cut me. I played 1 year in Alaska, college ball. And came because I got homesick and came back to Minnesota, and they had a professional league indoor that started, and it was the Minnesota Monarchs. And I tried out, and I got cut. But I'm like, I know I could get better if I just stayed in practice. So I stayed with the team. Second year came around, I tried out again. I got cut again. I'm like, but I want to get better. So
you played volleyball?
Indoor volleyball. And then third year, there was a team in Chicago, and so I went to Chicago, made the team, started, and the league fell apart. And I'm like, I'm not done playing. So it's like, so this drive to be better, I mean, I wanted to be the best player I could be.
Why do you want to be the best player you can be?
Because
what is it in you? What is it?
It's just a passion for the game. I mean, I was just, it doesn't hurt to be 6'1", and...
How tall are they normally?
Well, they're bigger now. They're like 6'3", 4', 5, 6". They're big girls now. But I met a girl on the Chicago team, and she played on the women's professional volleyball tour in California. And I'm like, do you think I could find a partner? She goes, yeah, come on out. Well, I didn't even know Charlotte very well, and I'd never been to California, so I was on a plane in a week. I got off in LAX, and I was sobbing because I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? I don't know her very well. I don't know if I could play beach. I don't know if I'm good enough to play beach. So yeah, I ended up in Santa Barbara. Next day, I went to the beach, and I met up with two girls that were the top team on the beach, and their coach, which was Kathy Gregory, the legend of beach. She's legendary. And she goes, isn't that cute? She's from Minnesota and wants to play beach volleyball.
How do you feel? How is it?
And I was like, yeah, I do. So I had that, it was almost like it was a challenge.
Unapologize, right?
I was like, yeah, let's go. And I killed myself. And it was just like, I worked constantly because I had to. Because I didn't have the resume that a lot of the girls had playing there. They had 4-year, they were all Americans and things like that. I just was a kid from Minnesota that wanted to play ball.
Wow. So
yeah, and so I was driven. It was the passion for the game.
So you said you work hard. How many hours a day?
Well, when I came out there, I was unconventional. I used to do off-season training on the track. I used to do track workouts, and people are like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, what are you doing? And it's like, 2 years later, everybody's working out on the track because you need to cross-train. You can't just be, So I would probably practice on the off-season 6 hours a day. I'd go to the weight. I'd be in the gym. I'd be on the track. I'd go to the sand, And as we got closer to season, then that would change a little bit. But you take 1 day a week off, and because the drive was if I wasn't in the gym, I knew somebody else was. I knew my opponents were going to be in the gym.
So you're a type A person, you say?
Yeah.
Very type A.
For sure.
Like triple A. and you know what you want and you go get it. Right?
Yeah.
It must be a moment that after you fail many times, right? Do you feel like I'm done? I want to give up?
That's an interesting. Giving up was never in my vocabulary.
Really?
No. Even when I would,
you're the one who's setting that rule. Like, this is not.
it was nowhere in my anywhere. There was nothing that giving up is like no. All I wanted to do was get better for the next tournament.
So instead of giving up, then you want to get better.
I worked harder.
Right.
You know, I did affirmations, I did meditation, and when I was training for the Olympics, the Olympic trials were in June. I hired a gal that was a heptathlete, and for the Olympic trials ago, and I said I need a track program in October. So I said I need to peak on this day. And so we had every day for 9 months mapped out on what I was going to do. And, you know, I mean, that's what you do. I mean, you eat and breathe, and I was completely committed. And there were days that I'd go to the track and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like crap. And I remember one day, because I would write affirmations all the time, or I would journal all the time. And somebody came up to me and go, oh my gosh, you look so strong. And it was the day that I was like, oh my God, I just need to go home and go sleep. I mean, it was one of those moments, and I wrote, and I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
You know, because you have to surround, you know, when you have that commitment and drive and determination, you also have to surround yourself with people that uplift you.
I love that.
Right? I mean, because I had all these people are like, yeah, okay, good. You're going to go to the trials. Yeah, good luck.
Right.
I mean, most naysayers. And so you have to get rid of the noise, because there's lots of reasons not to do anything. I mean, the list is long, and you have to persevere. You have to.
So hold on right there. So you said there's a list of many things to make you not moving forward, right?
Yep. You can't give in to that. If you have a goal, there's always a reason not to do something. Always.
Right.
And
always an excuse.
Always. There's always reasons, and it's like just go. I mean, that used to be my thing, you know, just go, even on the court, just go for, I mean, you know, if there's any word that kept me going, it's like, just go, like, don't think about it, just go.
Right.
And that creates some kind of momentum, you know, and it feeds your soul, because you're like, okay, cool, you know. So
giving up is not in your dictionary.
It was not an option.
Right? It's not an option. Keep going, right? And surrounding yourself with the positive people. Yep. Can you share with us a little bit about your affirmation? What did you say in your affirmation?
Besides being specific, volleyball specific, I would be like, I am open to change if necessary. I was, you know, because the game, once you get to a certain level in any sport, it's all mental.
Or I guess in anything, right?
In anything, right?
Because in career, in relationship, and, you know, get to your health, fitness, and stuff like that.
Right. You get to a point, and it's like, if the physical's all even, then it's all mental. And so you have to be crafty. You have to get in their heads or stay in your zone. So I would, you know, I would ask for universal help with things like that, you know.
So you open up for any change that necessary.
Let me know what I need to do to change. Help me stay grounded, because people will always, and that was a big one. People knew if they talked to me and gabbed with me before a match, I wouldn't play quite as well, because I'd be too much in my head, rather than stay focused. So it's like you have to find your lane and go, this is my lane, and go, no, you don't get to talk to me right now, and make that okay, because I was so focused. I would hide under the bleachers to get away from people, because everybody wants to talk to you. You know, the crowd, the fans, your groupies, they all just want to go, hey, and it's like, no.
Did you talk to them after you finished the game?
Yes. After's fine. Before, not so good.
Did you do meditation before you play?
I would, yes. I'd put headphones on, and I would, just try to find a quiet space.
Do the other players do the same too?
Yes, and that happens a lot now. And a lot of players these days have special trainers that do this with them, and so things have changed a lot.
Because in GoAllInTV, we talk a lot about retrain your brain. What can you share with us? Maybe some experience that, like when you retrain your brain and then, you prepare your mental, right, to be ready for the game. And then, what happened in the game, something like that. Can you think of anything?
Well, it's especially when training for the Olympics. And I mean, what kid or what person that was even an athlete doesn't want to go to the Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody, even the pro basketball players want to go to the Olympics. And when you focus on all that and you put all your eggs in one basket and it works, I'm like,
let's do it again.
It was just, I remember when we won our last point and I'm like, oh my God, we won. And I expected me to be bawling. And I was just like humbled. It was like, oh my God, all this training just worked. I remember that game, we were down 8-4, 12-8, 14-11. We won 16-14. I mean, it was just one of those, it's where time slows down.
And Deb, you have been doing this, retraining your brain and, focus on your performance and working hard, not even give yourself a chance to give up. Like for how many years? Is it affect your life now too? The way you live nowadays?
It was definitely 10 years that I was pretty dialed in. And since retiring, it's been a little more challenging. It's been really challenging because there's nothing like center court. That arena, in Brazil, 8,000 screaming fans. They're not screaming for you, but so it's been a challenge. I will admit.
It's real.
It's real, and it's hard to refocus, and it's hard to find my jam again. But I have the tools.
Right.
I have the tools.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is just one foot in front of the other. Have that. You gotta see that goal and get it. Go get it.
Yep. Go get it.
Just go.
Just go.
Just go.
Just go. That's a new mantra.
Yep. Just go.
Yeah, because when you wait for you to be ready, you're never ready.
You're never ready.
And then you end up not doing it at all.
And usually when you're the most uncomfortable is when you need to go.
Wow.
Right. Because
which is very hard to do, right? Again,
right.
Say again one more time, Deb.
When you're most uncomfortable is when you really got to go, because that's where the magic happens. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, and it's like, yeah, but what happens is once you get past that, you never know what opens up to you. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and it's consistent. That has been consistent through my whole life.
It's gonna stuck in my head tonight. When
that whole thing in your belly where you're like, oh, I don't really want to do this, and it's like, yeah, do it. You just got to do it.
Well, my last question for you is what is the one word that you always say it to yourself?
Just go.
Right.
Just go was always my, just go. On any level, get up every morning, just go for a bike ride. Just get up and do something, because we can get so stagnant and stuck.
Do you feel like just go mentality is so Americans, or it just it just you, or it just a human being?
I think it's definitely an athletic.
Okay.
Just go. I think as Americans and in general, I think we've gotten a little lazy of not going because the current situation is very hard to go. So it's definitely for me from an athletics perspective. Right. Just go.
So you tell yourself just go. Do you tell other people around you to just go?
If they want to hear it. I can tell some people I have said that to people and they're like, okay.
They don't get it.
No, they're not ready. And it takes risk. It takes willingness. It takes faith in yourself, passion. Right. You just got to go, okay, take the next step.
Thank you so much. I believe that the word just go is not only for athlete, just go can be for anyone. For example, if those who struggle in their marriage, right? Just go, like go for it, right? Like take time for each other, talk to each other, communicate, learn how to communicate better.
Exactly.
Right? It can be
You can apply that to anything.
apply to any area in your life.
Right. And I try to impress that on my kids. You know, because kids get stuck. You know, and it's like, just do anything. Just make a movement in the right direction.
Right. And they're so blessed to have you as a mentor too, you know, because you fight so hard for yourself for so long, for so many years.
Right.
Thank you so much for being such a great example and share the message with us today from people all over the world who will listen to this. Just go.
You're welcome.
Just go, my
Love
friend.
you, man. Yes.
Love you.